fouled, but certainly in through the back. Referee straight out with the yellow card. But this match now perfectly suits Indy 11. We heard from Alan Marcina, who last fouled, but certainly in through the back. Referee in straight out with the yellow card. This match now perfectly suits Indy 11. We heard from Alan Marcina, who last fouled, but certainly in through the back. Try and soak up that pressure, because they need to go in search of that goal. So now all of a sudden, through Indy's goal, they're going to force OKC out of that shell a little bit, force them to go after the game, which in turn will open up spaces.
Brad Ring is in the center of midfield. There was a question about whether or not he played today because he's expecting the birth of a child. He is able to play in today's game, pairing with Nicky Patterson in midfield. Rayo regains possession. Kimura. Boateng. Now here's Michel on the ball in midfield looking for the outlet. Pressed well. It does come out to Jared Van Schaik, the 27-year-old from Portland, Oregon. Comes from USL's Charleston Battery. Recaptained the team. Talked to Alan Marcini yesterday. In building an expansion team, finding 20-some-odd new players, he said he needed to find some characters that can provide some leadership to the ball. It's flicked on by Ryan Johnson. And he said part of the challenge of recruitment is that there's so many new teams throughout the United States. Whether you're talking about Major League Soccer, whether you're talking about NESL or USL as well.
It is a difficult task, but I must say, Rayo OKC, the squad that they have managed to put together in a short amount of time, it's a huge credit to them.
Ball is here at the edge of the area. It's flicked on towards goal, but John Bush will claim. Onto the ground, that looked like Ryan Johnson in the middle of there. Got tangled up. But John Bush, the 39-year-old goalkeeper, spent 13 years in MLS from 2002 to 2015, more than 450 starts. Plenty of experience in the back of a very experienced back five for Indy 11.
It really is. I'm sure John Bush would absolutely love if a commentator just didn't mention his name every now and or didn't mention his age, every now and then, because he's been a wonderful professional, whether it be with the Chicago Fire, 2 different stints there, with the San Jose Earthquakes as well. Such a leader at the back, always very vocal, and when you put his vocal leadership combined with someone like Colin Falvey as well, you've got talkers, you've got communication, you've got organisation, and that is why early on in this season, Brad Ring is an organiser in midfield. Another leader that's in this team for Tim Hankinson.
With Indy 11, since their expansion, they play at Indiana University. The Indy 11 team plays on the campus of IUPUI.
Great fans. Brickyard Battalion.
Best in NASL.
Slaughter team. They love to support their team.
The Brickyard Battalion watching one of their games. The run up to this one as the ball is flicked towards the outside by the goal scorer Reynoso. Unable to maintain possession is Indy 11 as delicately balancing the tightrope on the outside. The Rayo, as the ball comes in, desperately needing the clearance with Daniel Fernandez, didn't know much about it. Just kind of had to any touch on it. Nearly another calamity at the back for Rayo. You'll see the head coach there, Alan Marcina, the youngest in NASL. I wonder how much pressure there is on him to play a certain way. That's the Rayo Vallecano way, is play out of the back, play expressive, play beautifully. You wonder how much he is forced to play a similar style. See, I believe that's Brad Ring on the ground.
It's
the referee forced.
It's a fascinating factor, Chris, and it's a good point, because Rayo Vallecano under Paco Jimenez in La Liga, they play an incredibly exciting game of football, but often reckless. And when I say reckless, because they pile players forward, neglecting defensive duties at times. And if that's what Rayo OKC are about and what they want to do, in time, they will become one of the most exciting teams to watch in NASL. But I'm not sure. I think they'll find a mixture of both, because they want to make sure that they're solid defensively. They kept a clean sheet in their first game. Now, they've been involved in 2 games since that have had 5 goals in each, conceding 3 and 2. So shoring up the defence will be a priority. But they certainly want to, under the ownership of Rayo, want to play that expansive game of football where they can express themselves. And that's something that Rayo and Paco Jiménez do so well over in Spain.
Just talking to his team is the head coach of Indy 11, Tim Hankinson, who was actually involved in Rayo Vallecano being part of the ownership group for Oklahoma City to get Oklahoma City a team. He was actually the one that put the businessmen who wanted to bring an NASL team to Oklahoma City in touch with Rayo Vallecano and their team, so that together they formed the partnership that is now Rayo OKC.
Yeah, it's a wonderful story. Tim Hankinson, such experience in US soccer, so many connections. From speaking to him this week, a wonderful character as well.
And we were talking with him about the bye week that Indy 11 comes off of. They beat the New York Cosmos. See a goal in the early NASL season. And they were still able to score twice in order to pull off a win against New York Cosmos at home. And we asked him, so did you want this bye week? And he said, well, you come out with 2 schools of thought. One, to play if it's winning, but we have players that we need to get to full match fitness. We have new signings who want to work into the team, like Omar Gordon, who starts on the right today for Indy 11. So he ended up saying that it would ended up being a good thing for Indy 11 to have this bye week.
And he's absolutely right. From a personnel standpoint, yes, it may have suited. When you're winning matches, you want to play the next time. You wake up, you've got that buzz, and you want to get back out on the pitch as soon as possible. But Indy 11 have such experienced players. 9 of their 11 today, Chris, are 30 or over. Even at that, Brad Ring's 29. The youngest by far is Omar Gordon, the new player, like you mentioned.
Michelle on the ball, works it towards the penalty area. It's dangerous, having to get as much as you can on it. It's Greg Janicki, and it'll come out for a Rayo corner. Difficult ball to deal with from Michelle.
Beautiful cultured left foot of Michelle, whips it in. Janicki did really well. In control. Michelle just lifts the head and puts it into that area of uncertainty, knowing that you've got someone like Ryan Johnson making that run.